Well Rooted is brought to you by Gerard and Associates CPAs. With locations throughout Los Angeles, Gerard and Associates has been guiding entrepreneurs and creatives towards realizing their dreams for over 20 years. Discover how they can support your vision at gerardcpa.com. Hey, it's Haneen, and I'm back with another episode of Well Rooted. Today, I am joined by the one and only Abeer. Chances are you've run into Abeer's content, if not already following her on social media. She is one of the best-known MENA content creators out there. Her work is consistently funny and culturally relatable. This was such a fun conversation. Please welcome Abeer onto Well Rooted. So are you doing the apps? Because I know everyone's on the apps now.
The apps. I did it for like 10 days and I did I paused them because
I heard they're hell.
I think for me, like I'm trying to find the Arab guy,
In
but
LA?
it's like the people who watch me are Arab guys, so it's very annoying because like I don't want people to know me from online. I want
Yeah.
people to know me like
And that's kind of interesting because you are very public, right? And then a lot of the content that you put out is kind of derived from Arab dating, right? Because you
yeah.
do talk about guys you've dated, you don't name
Yeah.
names. You do speak to that side of like Arab girl culture. So have
Yeah.
you ever like met a guy or dated a guy and then he kind of had already been a fan or seen your content and brought it up to you?
Yeah. Well, I haven't been single for that long, so I just started dating like
Oh, okay. So we're gonna see.
recently.
This is a social
So
experiment.
it's like so originally I was like, you know what? Now my content is real because it will be based on
Real life.
real life. But then every person I would match with, they would be like, "Are you gonna make a funny story about me?" Like, so
So I've heard this before from other like content creators who they kind of they want to share like that part of their life, but then it kind of, backfires in some ways and it actually affects like their ability to go on dates with certain people. So then they have to like, it's like a back and forth. Like you have to find that balance that works for you.
yeah, like the guy I'm talking to right now, he didn't know. So I was like,
Like
yes.
you're a content
So I
creator.
was like, yes. And then one day he was like, "What's your Instagram?" And I was like,
You don't need to
I was
know.
like, fuck. And I was like, I don't think like guys usually ask for your Instagram because they want to see if you look good.
Right.
So they just want to see like, are you fat? Are you skinny? Like, are you a
Right. Yeah. Do you have
catfish?
friends?
Yeah. What do
Yeah.
you do? And I don't post pictures. I just post videos of me like
Content.
this up close to the screen.
That is true.
And I was just like, oh shit. Like, because he's like, you're so calm and you're so
You do have a
like,
very calm voice.
and I'm like, yeah, I am. I am calm.
Well, this was our attempt at a soft open.
Yeah.
So it's me, Honey, and I'm back with another episode of Well Rooted.
Where's the
And
camera?
the
Like,
cameras
oh,
are
no.
right over here. We have 3 cameras.
Okay, do we look at them or no?
You can, or you can just
Okay.
look over here. You don't have to. You can just look over
Okay.
here.
Whichever
Yeah, but
side makes me look good.
I know this is my side, so I
I
always
think
sit
this
over
is
here.
my side, to be honest. So it's good.
I mean, your hair's parted that way, so that works. But this is
Yeah.
this is always my side. My husband knows.
Nice.
But I'm here today with Abeer. If you don't already know who Abeer is, you will after this interview. And I'm pretty sure you will run into her content after this interview because that's how phones work these days. Um,
Yeah.
Abeer, we talked a little bit about before I introduced you about like your dating life. But how would you describe the type of content that you put out?
I would say it's a little out there. Like it's a little bit crazy, but it's supposed to be very like sarcastic, light-hearted content, mainly about dating, Arab men, different nationalities.
You do good impressions of other nationalities.
Yeah, I try. I
Yeah.
try to like learn the accents.
No, you do a really good job of it. And then I would say your audience is predominantly Arabs, like it is an Arab, like,
When I first started, majority of my followers were like white or Latina girls who date Arab men and hate them.
Really?
Yeah. But now it's, I would say, Arab, more Arabs.
More
Yeah.
Arabs. I think the first, TikTok of yours that I saw was sometime last year. A friend of mine sends me this TikTok, and at that time, to be honest, I wasn't following a lot of Arab creators, and then I get your TikTok, and it was the one where you said you were dating a guy or talking to a guy, and he said, "Oh, I'm so glad you're not an Arab girl," or "I didn't wanna date an Arab girl," and then you do your little, like, infamous laugh and then switch
Yeah.
up really quick. Where did the idea to? Because you do that format a lot in your videos, so where did you get the idea to sort of implement that in your content?
So it is something that has happened to me, but not exactly like that.
Mhm.
Like, I think because I don't know, there's stereotypes about like how Arabs look like, or like
Yeah.
how you would act or something. When I actually met my ex, when I first met him, um like I told him I was half Palestinian,
Mhm.
but it like didn't register with him. Like I was like, I'm half Palestinian, half
Yeah.
Bulgarian. He just thought I was like it's kind of like when white girls say I'm Italian. Like
Right.
that's what he thought. So like he was like, "Oh, I can write Arabic, blah blah blah," and he started like writing on the board very slowly.
And you're like, "I can read
And then
that."
I was like, "I can write Arabic too," and he was like, "No, I can write Arabic better than you." And then I just started writing, and then I like pretty much called him out that he's a liar. Like he wasn't really
You were more Arab than
he
he
didn't know
was.
Arabic. He
Yeah.
wasn't even Arab. He was Afghan. So I don't know.
So
That's the inspo.
So, how have like what's the criticism that you've received from probably or what would you say the majority of the criticism looks like that you receive from this content? And how do you not let it bother you and just continue to be yourself?
I would say because I try to be funny, I would say. Because I make like funny things. Sometimes I push it to the extreme. Like sometimes I say like I curse, like I say like "Yaltizi" or
Yeah, that is like
whatever.
her that is your slogan.
Yeah, so that was, I said it the first time by accident,
Right.
and it stuck a lot. But the main thing is the criticism is that I curse or stuff like that. But what bothers me is I feel like if I was a man, like if I was an Arab guy and
Mhm.
I did the same thing, no one would bat an eye.
Of course.
Like so I feel like the standards are a lot higher for women. Like they're
Mhm.
just expecting like me because I'm an Arab girl to like not say certain things or not act a certain way. And like I do respect the culture, but at the same time, I feel like there's a lot of things that we say every day, like when we're sitting together.
Right.
So I just feel like I can still make content about them.
Yeah. I think in general our culture has certain like boundaries, especially for women, of what's appropriate to say out loud, what isn't, and even topics that we're typically allowed to even talk about or that is normal to talk about in public. Like even dating for a long time, no one really talked about the term dating in Arab culture, even here in the States.
Yeah, that was another thing is because I would say like my boyfriend, things like that. And people would be like, "Oh wow, that's crazy." But it's like, let's be real. Like I wouldn't want to say everyone,
Hmm.
but the majority of people date at least behind closed doors a little bit.
Yeah, and then no one talks about it.
Yeah,
And then everyone's left feeling like they're the only ones and they don't really have anyone to share that with or to get advice
yeah.
from.
It brings a lot of shame for girls. I think like you get shamed because I think most Arab girls have good intentions when they date, and you have the intentions of like you want to meet the love of your life, you want to be together, but if it doesn't work out, you shouldn't be shamed that you dated someone and
Right.
it didn't work out. But I think in our culture, for women, it's a big deal, but for men,
It's not a big deal at
it's
all.
not.
It's like expected.
Yeah.
Yeah. then it's like, well, why aren't you with someone when you're like in your 20s, right? But it's like, well, you've told me my whole life I'm not supposed to be with someone, so how is
Yeah,
that supposed to happen?
exactly. And I just also think when you can't necessarily be open about who you're with
Hmm.
or who you're seeing, let's say to your family or something, it can actually put you in a worse position because then your family, then the guy will just think they can do whatever they want
Yeah.
versus meeting your family.
Right. Where when it's like it's worse when you're hiding something than when you're open about it.
Yeah.
So that's why I think like, seeing your content, I've seen, and then even we were talking about Nasser earlier, Nasser Reyes, some of it, like he talks about dating as well in the culture. A lot of other like young content creators and influencers do as well. And I think it's just relatable to the community and it's refreshing to have those conversations be out in the public.
Yeah. I also do it also. Originally, I wanted to kind of do it. I wasn't really necessarily thinking about what it would do to the Arab culture. I was mainly doing it as like there's just a lot of stereotypes about Arabs in the
Mm-hmm.
American community, and I just kind of wanted to humanize us a little bit more. And I just think a lot of the times the only way to like humanize someone is not by like politics. Like if you want people to take your side in politics and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you you want people to see you as a human being, but they're not going to see you as a human being if the only thing they see of you is when you're dying or
Mm-hmm.
when you're being political, which is part of who we are. But when they see that we're just like them, like we also want to get married, we also want to be in love, we also have dating issues, we also love to laugh, we're also funny, um we we have a lot of the same daily lives. I think it humanizes us more.
Yeah,
So that's
absolutely.
kind of initially what I was thinking.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. And I think that's really important, like for people, the non-Arabs, to see us in that sort of light as well. Because as to your point, we are only usually given a platform when we are taking part in the narrative that they've set forth for us, which is not flattering, right? It's usually a terrorist or an agitator or someone violent or someone like overly fundamentalist and religious. It's never just a normal, young woman who's like navigating dating life, right?
Yeah. And even for women, they have an image that women are so suppressed, like that Arab women are so suppressed, but we just have certain traditions and cultures that we follow, and some of them actually empower us. Like a lot of
Absolutely.
the times I compare like to an American, they just see, oh, you're suppressed, you listen to your man, you do this, but I try to kind of spin it in a different way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that's not necessarily a bad thing and it's just
Yeah.
and it's also a lack of knowledge, right? Like on their part, like that's their own ignorance. But exactly, like some things that they've been trained to view as a negative are not necessarily a negative. It's
Yeah,
just how
like
it's been
when I
spun.
consider like, okay, is it really empowering to sleep with a woman and like never call her?
Yeah.
Like that's
Ghost
literally
her.
what happens
Yeah.
every day in America.
Or is it
So
empowering to like split the check? Like that's just,
yeah, but like I'm looking at like the extremes, which actually happens every day
every day, yeah.
in
It's
the
a normal part of
US.
this their culture.
Yeah, and it's just like it like how is that empowering women? That's actually really messed up.
Yeah,
But like I feel like in our culture that is a lot it's more valued. Like a woman's body is more valued, it's more sacred. Like you can't just do
absolutely.
whatever you want to it, like whenever you feel like it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a really good point. And yeah, I mean, that's a really forward way of thinking compared to what American society or Western society does teach like young
Yeah.
men and women.
Yeah.
But a lot of your content also just pertains to really, like, niche corners of our culture that are really funny. So there is, because I was going through your Instagram and your TikTok yesterday,
Yeah.
and then I came across, like, the auntie, the one where you're, like, the Arab auntie, the khalto, and I think you make, like, that weight comment, right? Or it's like, "Oh, Nasana," like, and I'm like, the
Yeah.
amount of times I've heard this and, like, I've had it said to me as if it's a compliment, and it's not a compliment. And now to, like, watch TikToks that are being made, like, to parody that situation is so funny and so relatable for
I think it kind of like when I discovered Arab TikTok, I started to like feel so much better about my life because all of these things, like you think that only you went through
yeah,
them. Like you're like, oh, my dad is strict. My aunt keeps telling me like I'm either too skinny or too
right.
fat. And then you realize, well, actually that's everyone.
That's how we all grew up.
So it's kind of nice to like see it and laugh about it and realize like it's not just you. All of us grew
Yeah.
up with that. Yeah.
How has it been over the course of, like, this past year and over a year of, like, this live stream genocide that's happening, or, like, the, live stream annihilation of our people? How does it feel to have this sort of community that you've built that relates to you, that understands you, that you can communicate with? Does that help you cope in any way with what's going on the other side of the world?
Yeah, I think like I'm so glad I had it before everything happened because I feel like if you're Arab American or if you're an Arab in the US, it makes you feel so isolated.
Mhm.
Like I had a lot of American friends, Latino friends, like so many different backgrounds, but it just when everything happened, I just went through, especially in October, I went through like a deep depression. Like I couldn't do anything but like keep refreshing the news
Yeah.
24/7. And I think like, and then like your friends, they would just call you like nothing is happening.
Mhm.
They'd be like, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And it felt like you have a relative that like a close friend or someone that died and everyone is just going
Mhm.
about their day but no one is acknowledging that death, like no one is telling you I'm so sorry for what's happening.
Yeah.
So I think it makes you feel really isolated, so having the community helped me in a lot of ways because I felt like I wasn't the only one. I would get messages from people all the time, but at the same time it's a lot of responsibility because people expect, it's just like you're in their face and everyone wants someone to do something. So it was a lot of pressure to do something but also to say the right thing. And yeah, like I feel it's a lot of pressure and responsibility for that. And initially when I'm not like really scared of things. So like October 8th, I was saying something and it went so viral that like I had to get off social media because I got so many death threats. My phone was
Yeah.
ringing. People found my phone number. So I started to, I'm not really worried about myself. I'm just worried about like my family or something. So then the police didn't do anything. And
Oh, it
so,
was very serious.
yeah, it was very serious. And so I took like 2 weeks break and then I was just like, I can't not say anything. I have to keep going.
Yeah.
Um, but it's nice. And I've also had a lot of people message me and say like, thank you. Like I didn't know this was going on. I had no idea, especially because I did have a lot of non-Arabs.
Mhm.
Um, like I even had like Jewish people like reach out to me and be like, I had no idea this is what it was. And so yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I commend you on using your platform for that purpose and not shying away from it. Um, because I think a lot of us have also been disappointed by people who we view as having large platforms and not doing anything or saying anything. And then you also, I saw, went on a mission trip to Cairo.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
It was amazing. I was so scared whether it sounds really selfish. I was so scared whether I could handle it,
Mm-hmm.
like emotionally and mentally. And because they told us before we go on the trip, they just said, like, you have to, like, hold it together. This is not about you, it's about the people you're going to help. Like, don't cry, things like that. So I was worried about it a little bit.
Yeah.
But when I went there, I think for me, because like I'm Palestinian and I grew up in Palestine, so like for me, I grew up in Jerusalem, and so
Mm-hmm.
I've never actually met people from
From Gaza.
Gaza, and most people in Gaza haven't, like, maybe have been to Jerusalem once in their
Mm.
lifetime.
Yeah.
So it felt, even though I was going to help, it felt like I was like visiting my relatives,
Mm-hmm.
like people that I knew, but
It's
like
like it's like the relatives you talk to on the phone, right? Like you don't get
yeah.
to see them, but you talk to them.
So it was really nice. Like it felt like I was like it felt like nothing else in the world matters.
Mm.
Like I was just like, this is, if I was a millionaire, I would just do this for a living.
Can you give us details of how you were able to help there?
Yeah, so pretty much we were collecting, like they bring influencers through an agency to work with a nonprofit there. So let's say instead of them running ads online,
Mm-hmm.
they will bring us because it's kind of the same thing. So we would go there, we would meet with, like, we went to a center to see um like all of the Palestinians that are displaced right now in Egypt. They have built like this agency where like people bring donations, like old clothes, food, toys, things like that. They tried to find jobs for each other, things like
Mm.
that. So we went to see all of the people there. Everyone there is a Palestinian helping the Palestinians. So they're all volunteers, but they all have stories. So everyone was telling us their stories. Like, there was a mom that, like, her husband died, her baby died. That was like one story that was very in my brain because her back was, she couldn't even hold her baby. Her back
Mm.
was so injured. So her mom was carrying the baby. We also we went to, this story also like really hit me. We went to another family, and it was two boys and a young girl, and she was like 17, 18, and she started saying how she studied so hard for the 12, like for her 12th grade exam. It's called tawjihi. So she studied so hard for it, and all of that is gone. Like, she doesn't have the transcripts,
Mm.
she can't go to college. It was just like, it broke my heart because what she wanted to do is what I wanted to do when I was her age. Like, she wanted to go abroad, she wanted to go to university, and I felt like I was looking at like I was
Like a
like, wow,
younger
that's
version of
crazy. Like,
you.
I got what she
Yeah.
wanted. Like, I actually, that's when I went to the US when I was 17, and it's just so unfair because these people have done everything. Like, they've done everything they could possibly do. Is they work hard, they study hard, they do their homework, they do the work, but the outside circumstances, like, all the odds are against them. So it's like they're just in this position where the displaced Palestinians in Egypt, like, they can't work because they're pretty much undocumented. So
Mm,
they can't work, they don't have money, they can't enroll in school, they can't enroll their kids in kindergarten or anything. So the foundation that we went with, they they find those families, they pay their rent for 6 months, they buy them furniture, um they try to bring them food, but it's just limited. There's
yeah.
so many families and there's only so many you can help.
It's kind of like putting a band-aid on a wound. Like it sounds like a temporary fix, but as you said, they're not able to work. They're undocumented, so like there needs to be more help happening there.
Yeah, and Egypt already has its
It's like
own economic
and it's like very
crisis.
overpopulated as well.
Yeah,
Yeah. Talk to us about your roots.
my roots.
Yeah, and you can go as far back as you'd like.
So I'm half Bulgarian, half Palestinian. So I was born in Bulgaria, and when I was like 3 years old, we moved back. So I grew up in Jerusalem, in East Jerusalem. And yeah, so I was there like when I turned like 16, I started to think I want to go abroad. There's a thing there where they just think if you leave
If you leave, all your problems
if
will be
you leave
solved.
the country, if you go to America, if you go to Europe, you'll be rich and everything will be okay.
Yeah.
So I just grew up hearing that and I was like, that's what I want. So yeah, so I went to college in Pennsylvania.
Did you leave by yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, all on your own. So do you still have family in Jerusalem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My parents and my sister, like my whole family actually.
Okay, so you're here all on your own.
Yeah.
So you went to school and then and you ended up in San Diego after school?
Yeah.
Okay. And then how did you get into content creation? Where did that come from?
So I already work in marketing.
Mm-hmm.
But I do digital marketing for tech companies and things like that. So I had built an app actually with my ex.
That your ex business partner
It's a
as well?
horrible app. Don't look for it. Um, so yeah, so I was telling him like we need to market it. And
Right.
this was the first time I'm marketing a product, not a service. So I was like, let's get on TikTok. And as I was on TikTok, like doing research, I got hooked on TikTok. I was like, damn, where's all of this
Sorry, what
been?
year was this?
It was like 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, so I got on it and I loved the content and I just literally made one TikTok and it went viral. And I was like, okay, I guess we're gonna do more. And but it wasn't until that video that you talked about
Was
that
that like your
every
first viral
like I
video?
had viral ones, but it was just like a random viral.
Mm.
But that one kind of was the first time I like did something that wasn't like a trend or anything. Like I just did my own and like I kind of just made it like a series. So I just kept going and going
Yeah.
and going. And then I had another video where I revealed to the guy that I'm Arab. And that was like,
Wait, while you were in the video? Like while you were shooting the video?
yeah. And it was so viral. Like, it was like, I remember I uploaded it on like a Saturday night, which is a bad time to post. But I was like, whatever, who cares? I posted it. And then I look 1 hour later, it had like 10 million. Like, it
Oh,
had like
wow.
24 million. And I was like, damn, this is so crazy. What do I
That
do
is
now?
crazy. That's amazing. And so you've just been consistently posting ever since. Do you plan out your content? Like,
No.
or is it just sporadic?
Like I feel like to me is like ideally I want to post like let's say every day, but I never force myself.
Mm,
Like I think when I was first starting out, I did. Like I
Okay.
was just like, yeah, I want to post consistently, but I just liked it so much that I was posting anyways. Um but I don't plan out my content or anything. I just like I believe that like creativity has to come by itself. So I usually like I'll be driving or in the shower or like about to go to sleep and I'll
I
get
think
an
of something.
idea. So I'll write it in my phone. And then every couple of days I'll be like, all right, so I haven't made content. So then I'll open it. I'll have the
Oh.
ideas
So
and
it's very organic. It's not like
yeah.
something, it's not, you don't have like this, type A strategy where you're like, I need to map out this whole week of content.
Yeah, I'm not a planner.
But it's working in your favor, clearly.
Yeah. It is because I still enjoy it and I'm the kind of person if I have to do something, I won't do it.
You
So when
won't do
I
it?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that too.
So I like to feel like I feel like with content, I feel like it's a responsibility because you are putting out your energy to the world.
Mm.
So I feel like I only want to make content when I'm in the right energy because it's like contagious.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. And I feel like for the most part, your content is really fun and it is positive. And it's like if you're ever having a bad day, like go to Abeer's page and just like you'll laugh. Like you will literally laugh out loud because I don't actually go to a TikTok or a reel on Instagram without seeing at least one or two people that I personally know that are like typing out LOL, ha ha ha, oh my God, because it is really funny and it is relatable. And these days, it's really hard for us and members of our community to find things that spark joy, right?
Yeah.
And so being able to go to your page and going to your TikTok and knowing that this is a person of conscience, right? That I relate to and is also funny and can make me laugh. It's really special.
Yeah.
Like I know I appreciate it. I'm sure your community and all appreciate it as well.
Yeah, it was something that during this time I was thinking like is it like I got to the point where I was like, okay, do I continue making funny content? Does this feel weird? And sometimes people do ask, like they'll be like, where make funny content. It's like even some of my friends from back home. So then I'm like, actually, maybe because I had this like dilemma in my head. I was like, is this disrespectful?
Mm.
Um, does it feel right? Does it feel wrong? I don't know. And I think there was a phase where it was very disrespectful. And then I think we're at a phase where it seems like it's gonna go for a while and we need a coping mechanism, and I also think we need hope. And
And community.
like in every war in the world ever, like losing hope is what the enemy would always want you to do. So you would lose hope if you don't laugh, if you're not happy. So I was like, okay, I have to pull it together. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a really good point. It's morale, right? Like you're boosting morale.
Yeah.
Like even with this podcast, we're launching next week and this is an idea I got, I would say late last year, but
Yeah.
then I was like toying around with it because I'm like, is it insensitive? But it's like it comes down to like intention and I'm like, you know what? We're being silenced so much. We're being suppressed so much. Like no one wants to even hear our voices.
Yeah.
I if I can provide a platform where people can come out here and really speak up for themselves and share their stories, like that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And as you said, like just you're constantly representing for your people, whether you want to or not, right? You are sort of like this ambassador to
Yeah.
Palestinians.
Yeah, exactly. And I just also think like I don't know, maybe that's how I felt before, but I used to feel like there's no Arabs around me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would be like I'm the only one. I don't or let's say I hear Arabs say this a lot like just because someone else is Arab, you don't automatically click. Like you have to find your people, even
Yeah.
in the Arab community. There's different like different types of thinking, different upbringings. Like so,
Mhm.
I think now there were so many people that shied away from the community for different reasons, and I feel like that's the one silver lining that came out of the situation is everyone is like learning to stick
Yes.
together and find each other. I found so many, I've actually built so many relationships since then because of
Yeah.
it. So,
I agree with you 100%. I feel like I've done the same because it
yeah.
really, prior, I was like admiring people that I had no business admiring, you know? Like I was giving energy
Yeah.
to like these public figures that I really thought would accept me and my people, you know?
Yeah.
Or people that I just thought were, you know, worthy of my admiration or my respect. And then you know, I kind of found myself, like you said, like alone. It's like you're looking around, like, oh, like where's my community actually? Like maybe I should be investing this energy into them because
Yeah.
I actually relate to these people really well, and I want to support them instead.
Yeah. That's how I feel now. Like now I'm very, very intentional of who I support and who I don't.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very eye opening. You know, it's a really
It
eye opening
it's
experience.
literally like one day someone was like, everything is a lie. That's how I
Yeah,
felt.
yeah, absolutely. It really is. Yeah, and I mean, it's if maybe that is the one silver lining that we can take away from this, you know, as a community is if anything, it hopefully just brought us all a little bit closer and made us look inwards instead of, you know, outside. And like it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
let's support each other because we're not going to get it from anyone else for the most part.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So, I wanted to do a couple of like rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Okay. So, what are I asked Nasa this question, but I'm going to ask you because you're the female point of view. Okay.
Okay.
So, what are some red flags in terms of dating that women need to be made a little bit more aware of?
Okay.
What pops out at your head?
um their family.
The
Family.
guy's family?
Yeah, I think family can either make or break the relationship. You marry someone, you marry the family.
Yeah.
So look into the family dynamics. I would say that. And then the second thing is like guys who, to me, I'm saying that's my
Yeah,
red
yeah. No,
flag.
you're definitely your
Like, I
perspective.
don't like guys who are like a sheep. Like, they just follow everyone, they follow their friends, they follow.
Yeah.
Like, I like someone who's like, I don't care what anyone thinks, this is what I think. And like, they just make their own path in life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. You have to be able to stand up like on your own 2 feet without any outside influence.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned earlier about like when you post your content or TikTok. So if someone is listening to this and they want to start posting more on social media, what days, what time should they be posting, and how often would you recommend them posting? I'm so tongue-tied today. Recommend them posting.
I don't believe in that. Like, I don't believe in like when to post, how often to post. I just think this is what I told myself when I decided to like go down this route is first I started on TikTok because I think a lot of people really worry about making content and putting their content in front of people they know.
Mm,
Like it's the easiest to post your content to people you don't know. So
mm-hmm.
I started on TikTok cuz no one, at least I told myself that.
Yeah,
Like it, not on Instagram because all of my, or start an account that you have nobody that you know
right.
on, and just start with like you want to find your audience and you'll get the support from them honestly before your friend. Like your
Yeah,
friends and family and everyone, they'll be convinced once you make it,
that
not
is true.
before. And I think that's usually what people worry about is to put themselves out there. They're worried that their content will flop in front of everyone. So that's the biggest fear. And The second thing is I just think it's the quality of your content, and it's not like it's the quality. It's not what time you can post at 1 a.m. If it's a really good video, it will eventually blow up because algorithms pick it up eventually with reactions and with how people are interacting with it.
Just put
So,
good content out.
yeah, and like I just think with content, like look at it in the long term. Like a lot of people just copy each other and
Hmm.
stuff. That's cool for a little bit, but eventually you won't have an identity. You'll just be
Yeah,
like another person that makes the same skit
the
as
same
everyone
trend.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is an Arabic song that you can't help but dance to?
Mm. There's a song, it's like, Wasa,
Oh
wasa.
yes. Oh, Ahmed Saad, right? Is it Ahmed
Is
Saad?
that what it is? It's like, شوف انت عامل
Yeah,
ايه.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is a good
It
song.
hypes me up.
It
Like I'm
is very.
always,
I feel like I don't know if you follow him or listen to his music, but his music is pretty upbeat. It's pretty
yeah,
fun.
it's
Yeah.
remind you know the song Move Bitch, Get Out the Way.
Yeah.
Like it's like the
The
Arabic
Arabic version.
version
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
it.
That is yeah, that's true actually.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Palestinian dish?
Um is it Palestinian dish? I don't know.
Okay, or Arabi
I
dish.
really like this combination. Like I like kusa mahshi,
Mm.
but I love it in laban kishk.
You
Like
like it in
like
kashik?
I love kusa laban. It's so heavy.
I like it in laban. Like we grew up like having it just like laban, but I know like my friends will make it with like kishik. I'm just not used to that flavor
I love
profile.
kishk. I literally like my mom ships me the rocks.
Oh.
And one time I made it when I had like American roommates. Like I'm cooking it and I'm like so excited. Like I finally got it. My roommate walks in, she's like, "Ew, it smells like socks in here." And then I was like, "Socks?" She's like, "What is that?" Like it's like sour yogurt, like yogurt
It's
that's
an
gone
acquired
bad.
taste for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but to me it's like the best tasting thing ever. Yeah, and but after she said it, I couldn't unsmell it,
Oh man. I
you
like
know.
ruined it for you.
I know I still eat it.
Okay, good.
But
Uh,
I think about that story a lot.
okay. كنافة خشنة or ناعمة?
Nah, man.
Really? Okay, is that a Jerusalem thing or a Palestinian thing? Like from Palestine? Because I didn't grow up there, so
I think the original knafe is na'me.
it
Like
is?
I think knafe khishne is like fake knafe. I don't
What?
know. Me, like that's how I feel.
Okay.
Um,
So you grew up eating the name, like more.
yeah.
Okay. And is that what's like more popular like in Jerusalem and Palestine and the West
I would
Bank?
say that like in Jerusalem we have a place called Jafar.
Mm,
It's like very well known.
yeah.
It's like probably where all the tourists go and they have name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Inshallah one
think
day.
even in Nablus it's name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably. I'm over here. I'm from Naples. I'm like,
You
yeah.
are?
Maybe.
Wow. Shame on you.
Right? Well, maybe I'll go back. Maybe inshallah we can go back. And
I
then
I
I'll
really
go with
hope
you and
so.
you can be my tour
I
guide.
will take you.
Okay, I'm so down
What
for this.
yeah.
Yeah,
You got
100%. Okay, if we had this interview 5 years from now and I asked you, Abid, what are you up to? What are you going
whoa.
to be up to in five
Deep
years? It
questions.
is a deep question.
Well, mm.
Well, it's manifesting, right? We're
Yeah,
kind of like
yeah,
we're
yeah.
manifesting.
I'm so big on like
Yeah.
I'm so big on manifesting that even when I listen to music, like I won't listen to like let's say I'm in love, okay? I won't listen to a sad song
Okay.
because then I'm manifesting a breakup.
Yeah.
And like you know how like white people do like um what are they called? Um like I am strong, I am
Oh,
kind.
affirmations.
Like
Yeah.
you know how white people do
Yeah, yeah.
affirmations? I would just listen to an Arab song of like a guy and it will be like into Janin. Like in
Yeah,
my head
yeah.
I imagine that this song
It's about
is
you.
about me.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So I'm like, but what was the question? Sorry.
In 5 years,
Okay.
what will you be up to?
I I think hopefully I'll be married, first of
Yes.
all. And some kind of show. Like I want to have a show.
A TV show?
I haven't decided fully, but
Mm,
I'm thinking some kind of show.
mm,
Um whether it's probably going to be comedy.
yeah.
Um what else? Hopefully I have twins.
Oh, okay. Twins.
One and done.
One and done. No,
I
seriously.
just want to get pregnant once in my life.
And be done with it.
Yeah, because I can't lose weight that many times.
It's a lot.
Like, yeah, like, and I'm not doing it. After the second time, I'm staying fat.
Yeah.
And hopefully Palestine will be free
Hopefully, yes,
and
inshallah.
I can visit back home and bring my kids there and have my show there. Like, my dream is to have a comedy show that ends in,
In Palestine.
yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm manifesting this for you as well. Inshallah. I hope.
But when I first like said that I was gonna do a comedy show, all of these people from back home were like, "You have to do one here." So I was like, "I can't have a tour unless it ends there."
Yeah. It's like your homecoming, right? It'd be like your homecoming
Exactly.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah. One day. One
Inshallah.
day, inshallah.
Yeah.
Where can people find you
Like on,
online?
I was like
If they haven't already
at the
found
coffee
you.
shop. And on Instagram,
Mm,
it's a very complicated username, AB299R, or on TikTok, Abeer Daily.
perfect. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank
This
you.
is amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Well Rooted. If you enjoyed today's episode and felt it brought you value, please subscribe, leave a comment, give us a like, and a review. This episode of Well Rooted has been brought to you by Girard & Associates CPAs. With locations across all of Los Angeles, Girard & Associates has been helping entrepreneurs and creatives make their dreams come true for over 2 decades. Go to girardcpa.com to learn more. This is Haneen, and we are all well rooted.